Today we're going to learn about the first declension, or review the first declension for some of you guys. Remember, declensions are used for nouns and adjectives, but primarily right now we're going to focus on nouns. A declension is just a group that a noun belongs to, and that group follows a distinct pattern. So each declension has 10 cases: nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative, both singular and plural. So there's that 5 there, and then the singular and plural making 10. And the first declension we learned was the first declension. The first declension you may recognize by having most nominatives start it with A, and then all the genitives of the first declension will be AE. The way you identify what noun or what declension a noun falls into would be its genitive singular. And for the first declension, it's AE. And most of the first declension nouns are feminine. And there's a few examples or exceptions to that called the pain, which I'll get to at the end of this lecture. So, for example, to learning the first declension. First, I'll write the singular. I'll abbreviate my cases. The first one is the nom. And we'll talk about case usage a little bit later and what the importance of the cases are. But right now, we'll just give them the names: nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative. And I will pick a pretty typical noun for the first declension. That would be the word girl, which is puella. And if you saw this in the dictionary or in one of your vocab lists, it'd be listed puella, which would be the nominative singular. Puellae with the AE, which is the genitive singular. It's always in the dictionary for nouns written nominative singular, genitive singular, not the plural. This is the genitive singular, and it's gender. And again, most nouns, almost all the nouns of the first declension will be feminine, and I'll talk about a few exceptions at the end of this lecture. And so the way the singular goes for the first declension is puella, with your ending as in A. Puel I, which is AE. Puel I again. Puel and then puel And this A in the ablative has a macron over it, which the macron is this long mark. I particularly don't care if you use it or not, but sometimes it helps if you can recognize it when you're going through your translation. And so for this nominative singular, it's going to be A, AE, AE, AM, and then A. And these endings will be the same for all nouns of the first declension, which is nice. It follows this pattern. You have your base, which is P-U-E-L-L, and then C, your base is here, and then your endings A, AE, AE, AM, A. And that would be your singular. Now I'm going to move into the plural. So the plural would be puel I, again AE. Then it's puel arum. Then it's puel is, puel os, and then puel is. And you notice I have 3 different cases that are AE, the genitive singular, the dative singular, and the nominative plural. And you'd ask me, how do you tell the difference in translating? Well, you have to figure it out from context. And when we get into more translating, we'll look for tricks to do that, and I'll help you with that. But the most important part right now is that you memorize these endings. And there's no real trick to get out of it. It's just straight memorization. So the better you are at memorizing things, the easier this will be. And if you have a tough time memorizing, you're just going to have to work a little bit harder at it and put more time in it. The drill that I like to do to help memorize the endings is just write them over and over and over and over again. And so it's almost like your hand will remember it. You'll get used to writing A, AE, AE, AM, AE, Arum, Is, Os, and Is. And mentioned before, almost all the nouns here in the first declension will be feminine in gender. The common exceptions are what are known as the pain nouns. It's a mnemonic device. P, A, I, N. And these are four common first declension nouns that are masculine. The first one would be poeta, and it'd be AE masculine, meaning poet. The next one, A, is agricola, AE masculine. The next, incula, AE masculine. And the last, this means inhabitant, agricola farma, it means farmer. And the last one, nata, AE masculine, and this means sailor. So remember your first declension: A, AE, AE, AM, AE, Arum, Is, Os, Is. And just keep working on it, and we'll move on to the next declension, which is the second declension in our next lecture.